pleasant good afternoon to you. John Verlin here with On-Demand Advertising Solutions. Another digital marketing update. This is our 30th podcast. And today I wanted to talk about, is your business marketing prepared for disaster? Now, I know that's a pretty dismal subject, and I did touch on this idea about a month ago in another podcast about preparing for a crisis and things like that. But today is the Friday before Labor Day, and last week, Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, and massive flooding, lot of stuff. So I thought I would address this a little bit because several things I experienced this past week, I think, kind of reiterate it and the importance of it. Now, I talked about in our last podcast about how in Voyager 1, Voyager 2 were sent out by the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena. They had to come up with a lot of what-if scenarios in planning before they sent that out. And this is part of planning. And every business, as far as I'm concerned, it has to have some sort of a plan, an emergency plan. Okay, what do I do if such and such happens, such as a flood or a tornado or a natural disaster or political uncertainty, whatever. This is important because you've got to have somewhat of a plan as far as your marketing goes. How are you going to respond? What's going to happen if your database or customer accounts are breached? How do you respond to that? A whole scenario of things can happen, but it's good just to have some good basic rules to live by, so to speak, as far as how are you going to respond to your marketing. Now, case in point, one of my clients is a financial institution, had an upgrade to their systems. They didn't send out any kind of heads up, so to speak, and unexpectedly, I guess there was a 2 or 3 day delay, and their online banking was down. Well, they're an online bank, and naturally they had customers concerned because they couldn't access their accounts. Now, this is possibly could have been prevented with a little foresight on communicating with their customer base and prospects through not only secure messaging, emails, social media posts. But it was done after the fact, and there were several negative comments on their Facebook page, which were correctly answered with their social media person and also their compliance person. But one comment's all it takes, indicating that this is unacceptable. And suddenly, you have people who they are trying to get as customers by spending money, read that and form an impression, an opinion. Well, that's just one example of one issue that came up that kind of wasn't really planned for. Well, now they have a complaint scenario of what they're going to do if they get complaints or they have issues up front that they may suspect might cause problems. They can go ahead and make posts on social media, on their website, on their online banking, through secure messaging, through emails to their customer base, and pre-plan this in case something might happen. Now, why do you need social media? And this is kind of what it's coming back to, because that's real-time communication. And you can get on it right away to get to your customers and prospects with updates. Now, you may think, well, that's millennials use a lot of that. Well, when the Houston flood hit, my 73-year-old cousin went on Facebook, thanked everyone, his friends who he is connected with, about his concern and said, as of this time, my backyard hasn't flooded yet, but it could. And so I'll keep you updated. Perfect example of staying in touch, giving an update on social media in real time. And this is why businesses needs to be engaged now, before an issue arises, that you have to do something. See what I'm saying? And this is why I'm advocating for all small businesses to start a social media program, whether you see tangible results right now or on down the road, which you should. Well, you might say, and I did get an email from a listener last week, and I'll just call him George, and George, I want to respond to your email. He had asked me, as a small business, he said, I don't have money to spend on hiring somebody, even part-time, to do my social media, et cetera, et cetera. And that's fine. If you have a referral base where you're getting customers, you're doing well, there's no point in changing anything that you need to and making that investment. But know that, and this is the point I was trying to make in several podcasts recently, it's moving in this direction with smartphone technologies. And more people are doing social media and responding on it. So it would behoove you to not put it off, basically. And this hurricane situation is probably a really good example. A lot of people stayed in touch on social media, letting relatives know how they were doing, asking for help, a lot of things like that. So it's probably a good idea, George, to go ahead and make some investment, whether it's your time or a family member, just to get something going on, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, to have a presence. Now, you may not have a website, and you can maybe do that okay for a while, but this is where this kind of rubber meets the road, and you have to make that decision. Do I need to go there yet and start a program with social media, or should I wait until something does happen? It's kind of up to you. I understand the investment issue, and all that, but this is a good example of what can happen, and there are businesses that have had damage done because they couldn't respond quick enough to customer complaints on Facebook or perhaps Twitter. That's the point, is to engage your customers and prospects prior to any issues happening. And the real moral of the story is you're going to build your business. That's the whole point of it, to build your business by engaging consistently with them. Because we've never had this capability before without doing some sort of customer survey or phone calls or a party or something to get in front of our customers. Well, now we can do it through social media. So this whole idea of changes that are going on that can affect your relationship with your customer, whether you're advertising in print right now or radio or TV or direct mail, or great, keep doing that. This is all part of your marketing program. It's just one more element that you can access quickly and change quickly if you have a person doing it in-house, handling your social media and content, or if you're doing it yourself, or you freelance it, or you hire an agency of some sort. This can turn on a dime, and that's why it's so important, because not only can you engage people on a regular basis, but when you really need it, and an upgrade happens and you didn't warn them and they get complaints, you get complaints, you can preempt this. A little planning, a little forethought, and you can continue to build your business without facing any damages, so to speak. So that's kind of the story I wanted to talk about today, and that is the idea that preparing your business, your marketing, for issues such as a disaster that come out of the blue. Now, once that passes, if you have an engaged platform, a marketing platform that I refer to, you can get back in touch with your customers, thank them for their business, and I'm sure they will respond. Glad to know you're opening again soon. Felt terrible about the tornado that hit in the area, and thank you for keeping in touch with us on updates, that kind of thing. That's worth a lot, because you're still engaging your customers. You're also staying ahead of the competition by letting your prospects and customers know through your social media platform that you're still in business, because your competition can jump on this and say, well, we're still open, and they can wreak some havoc if you're not in touch with your prospects and customers. So my point is, it's just a good common sense business decision. And from my perspective, George, in answering your question about, I know costs are involved, but pre-planning for your marketing should be involved too. And whether this is involved or if you're doing direct mail, whatever your planning is, I'm sure you've thought through that and you made investments and budgets. Well, this is a great example of why this probably should be included at some point fairly soon, particularly as more and more people are moving to these smartphone devices to access websites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. More and more people are doing this. So it's probably a good idea to do that. John Verlin, On-Demand Advertising Solutions. Contact me like George did it. John Verlin12 at AT&T.net, or you can visit OnDemandAdvertisingSolutions.com, and we'll talk to you next week.